Oh, hello there, you lovely lot. Welcome back to another fabulous show here on Crafters TV. It is all about craft along. Oh, not any old craft along, no, the award-winning craft along, as it will forever now be known. I am not on my own though here in the studio for the next couple of hours, because can you imagine me trying to teach you guys what to do? It wouldn't work out, would it? No, the queen of the craft along, the headmistress herself, Jan Brown, is back with me. How are you, Jan?
I am good, thank you, Joe. Yep, I love this show, I really do. It's one of my favourites, and the fact that we've won an award for it, even better. So thank you to everybody out there that voted for us. Yep, we can now call it our award-winning craft along, and we're going to have our Joe crafting along as well. We've got him all kitted up during the break, so we're going to be looking at those message reveals, so those little hidden messages.
Fabulous.
Let's give you a little look, shall we, first of all, at what we're going to be making. So if I pop this on here, we can have a look at this from above. And I thought, seeing as we were still on that run up to Christmas, we'll do sort of a little gift box and still sort of keep it Christmassy. But again, anything like this, depending on how you dress it, can turn it into something totally different, you know. So imagine it in blue, imagine it in green, imagine it in sort of pinks for Valentine's Day, something like that. So what I've done is I've sort of constructed a long thin box. We were looking for ideas that we could put in here earlier, and we suggested obviously chocolates would fit in there. I said maybe a tie, if it was for a gent, would fit in there. Our Jake came up with the idea of a watch would fit in there. So yeah, all sorts of things. And the actual
What?
Did producer Johnny just say a wand then?
Would be a bit of a short wand, wouldn't it? How long's your wand, John? It wouldn't fit in there. I mean, I've seen a few wands in my time, and I've never seen them that short.
We mean to go on, shall we? Come on, Johnny, how big's your wand?
You'd have to make the box a bit bigger to fit a wand in, surely.
It was just sort of carrying along there, and all of a sudden I heard a wand. Anyway, just stop, Johnny. Stop there. So yeah, we've used that lovely cracker die on the top there, and I've done it twice, so it's literally echoing one side to the other. And then of course in the edges here where the cracker is, you can pull the cracker and you've got your message reveals in there. So this is what we're going to work towards by the end of the show. We've got a couple of hours to do that. We're going to have our Joe crafting along with us. Let's do the list first, I think. So any of you that's not actually gathered all those components together, we'll go through what you need in order to join in with us today. So first of all, the actual product side of it then. I've used 3 sheets of A4 craft card. We need an A4 sheet of Miri card in gold, and these are from our luxury packs, the ones I've used, but whatever you've got to hand. And an A4 red from the luxury card. Now it does, it says red card on there. I use the satin from our luxury packs, and then the glitter card we just need a scrap of in order to cut the 2 little bows out that are decorating, so it doesn't need to be a massive sheet of glitter card. And then I went back to that "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" paper pad. You're going to need just one 12-inch sheet to cut into for some of the decorations on the project. The cream card is just a scrap that we're going to cut for those messages, so I'll give you the dimensions of those as we go along. And then the message reveal die itself, I use the cracker on there, and that's sort of measured. The box is made to fit that particular die. About 4.5 inches of ribbon in your colour choice to match whatever's colour scheme you're working with. And then we've got these on the show for you today as well. We've got the "'Twas the Night" festive embellishments and the luxury embellishments on there. So we're going to have a play with some of those. So one of those is from "'Twas the Night", and then the ribbon collection is from the reindeer collection. So again, if you haven't got those, we've got them on the poll for you, on the show today. And then obviously 2 suitable sentiments for those hidden messages. So whatever you've got lying around that's going to fit that sort of size in there. So that's all the product list. And then again, coming to that sort of equipment, pretty much the same now. You can see there's definite sort of pattern coming with the equipment that we need. So I've put the A4 guillotine on there. We need a scoreboard with your score tool and a bone folder. So access to a Gemini. Now these will fit in anything from the midi to the junior upwards. All right, so if you've got anything handy. I usually pop a ruler or a pencil on there just in case we need it. And you're going to need your scissors and a pokey tool. some kind of stamping platform, whether it be a rocker block or just a small stamping platform to do the sentiments, and a black ink pad for stamping with. Doesn't matter which ink pad it is because it is just to stamp a sentiment. And then as far as glues, I nearly always put the same ones on there. I put both the tape pens on, they both serve a purpose, the double-sided and the dotty. I've put all 3 of the red line tape on there today. If you haven't got all 3, the smaller one will work on, you can just double it up. And then all-purpose glue, tacky glue. And if you've got one, a small circle punch. Don't worry if you haven't. I'll show you a trick round it if you don't own a punch. That'll do the job. Okay, so we'll give everybody a couple of minutes, I think, yes, Joe, to get all those ready and if you've not got them collated, yeah? Let's let everyone get an opportunity to get ready. If you're thinking, gosh, I'd love to do this craft along, but I don't own those dies, then don't worry. It's not too late for you to grab them. You can watch this show back any time you want, as you can with all of our shows here on Crafters TV. They're always available forever, free of charge, over on the website. So we've managed to replicate the launch offer on these as well. So let me take you through what you're going to get. 4 different styles in here for you. So you've got this one firstly with the cracker, and of course those hidden, all have those movable elements with the hidden messages in there. You've also got the stocking as well. The top part of the stocking there just lifts out to reveal that message. You've got your gift of Christmas, which is this one just here now. It's called gift of Christmas. I mean, that really could be used all the year round, that one there. And then finally, you've got that Christmas tree within there too. $59.97 or $59.85, $40.78 or $47.88 for Platinum members. Worth noting as well that it is our second day of Craftmas today, and we've got 12 amazing promotions running for you over the 12 days of Craftmas. Today is double points on absolutely everything here that you see on Crafters TV and across the entire website as well. So definitely take advantage of those. Lots of you tuning in today. Catherine Bradley is saying hi from Virginia. Barbara's in Indiana. Diane's in Pennsylvania. Anne's saying good afternoon, everyone. Patty, I can see in California as well. And Beth over in Minnesota as well. What will happen, as it always does, is if you've got any questions as we go through the craft along, you can get those into Jan via me over on Facebook, Crafters TV, Crafters Companion if you're watching us on YouTube. We will take regular breaks and Jan will recap the steps as well as we go. Now, I need to tell you, earlier I said we'd won 2 Crafts Beautifuls Award. I don't know what happened. We lost 2 down the back of the sofa, I think, because we actually won 4, Jan. It's just getting better, isn't it? I know. Best brand for crafts. We also won favourite die cutting range for our Geminis. Best workshop, an online class. Craft Along, the award-winning Craft Along, the one that we're presenting to you right now. And also Ultimate Craft Holiday for Craftaganza as well. So we won 4 awards, which we are absolutely over the moon about. So thank you to everyone that voted for us in the Crafts Beautiful Award, and congratulations to all the other winners as well. Right, Jan, I think if you're ready, judging by the comments everyone else is, I've got everything I need here as well. So I think we're just about ready to get going if you are. Right, so I'm just going to get all my bits and pieces collated ready. So I asked you to get several bits ready. So I'm just going to show you mine here that we've got packaged up. Whoops, I'm trying not to get that to blow away. Don't blow away, thank you. So I asked you to bring along 3 pieces then of craft card. So we're going to use 2 of these pieces to make the box element, and then the third one is to cut the dies into. So we'll do a bit of cutting in a second. We don't need full sheets of these, but obviously they come out of the packet in an A4 sheet. So I've got that lovely gold there. We're just going to cut some elements in this, and the same with the red. So if you have only got half sheets there lying around, you probably have enough with those. And then I've got a scrap of glitter card that we're going to cut the little bows into. So this is a scrap of red glitter card. And then I've got a couple of pieces of cream, which I'll give you the measurements for to do the messages on. So that's the card stock. And then I took a sheet of 12 by 12 from that lovely 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I'm a little bit in love with this paper pad. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Now, for the sample, I used this one. So I used this one with that all over print on there. But I thought for this, we'll swap it up a little bit. I'm going to use the plaid. So I'm still keeping along that red theme, but I'm going to use the plaid for this one. So that's my sheet of 12 by 12 at the ready. And then I've also got my cracker die, all right, which is very grubby by the looks of it there, I don't know why. And we've also, I just grabbed something that had some sentiments in it, just happens to be one of our layering dies there, and I've just used a couple of the sentiments, but whatever you've got, you know, whatever sentiments you've got, they only want to be fairly small, but just, and you can always pop those in afterwards if you've not got a sentiment die to hand. And then I also brought in those embellishments, so we've got the festive embellishments from the Twas the Night, and I just used 2 or 3 of the little berries there. And then from the reindeer collection, there's some beautiful velvet ribbon, and I just used a piece of the red ribbon in there. So that's all my bits and pieces at the ready. Just for the benefit of anybody that's just joining, this is what we're actually going to pop together. So it's actually a gift box, and it's 1 1/4 inches deep. Okay, and I've actually laid the 2, I've cut the die twice and turned them opposite ways, joined them with the ribbon so it looks as if it's all one, and then you've got that lovely little gift box there with a little bit of the coloured card inside, and then we've got those lovely message reveals. When you pull the cracker, you've got those lovely message reveals on the inside. So let's have a look then. As always, we're going to start with cutting our cardstock to size. So if you grab your craft card.
Question for you, Jan.
Yes.
Darker side or lighter side when you're using the craft card?
Now that is purely...
Because I didn't realise that there was 2 different sides,
yeah,
really.
there always is with a craft card. It's obviously something to do with how it's put together, and it is purely personal choice.
I quite like the lighter side.
No right or wrong. I think on this occasion I've used the lighter side. I often do use the dark one as well, but I think looking at this, yeah, definitely, I've used the lighter side of it. But there's no right or wrong with it. Either, whichever's the most pleasing, whichever you think fits your pattern paper, there isn't a right or wrong with that. So just go with the flow with that one. So I'm going to bring my guillotine into play, and we're going to cut some pieces for the box, and then we've got some to die cut into for the actual cracker part itself. So we need to cut 2 pieces exactly the same size for the box. Now our A4 is just slightly longer than what I need it to be. So on the long side here, I'm going to pop this in the guillotine, and I'm just going to cut it down to 11 1/4 inches. 11 1/4. So I'm only taking sort of a fraction. We were in unison then, Joe. Did you hear that?
Perfect harmony.
Synchronised guillotining, yeah.
Oh,
so
that could be, if there was Craft Olympics, forget about synchronised swimming, synchronised
guillotining. We both went at the same time. So yeah, I've just cut that little sliver off, and that is waste. We don't need to hang on to that piece. And then if you rotate it onto the short side, we're going to do now, then I apologise for this measurement, but it was actually working with the width of what I've got here. It comes to 5 1/8. All right, so if you find your 5-inch mark, our guillotine has got 1/16 of an inch on it. So you'll need to go 2 small marks past the 5. So it's halfway between 5 and 5 1/4. All right, just to get that lined up, and then take that down to 5 1/8. All right, so we're going to do a second piece exactly the same. So long side is going to go to 11 1/4. So just get that one lined up and take that sliver off there, and then we're going to rotate to the short side and do 5 1/8. So you should have 2 pieces exactly the same size. So 11 1/4 by 5 1/8 of an inch there.
I'm going to move these well away, the waste pieces, Jan, because I know what will happen. They'll be coming back in otherwise. All
right, so we'll put those to one side for now. Those are going to be our box pieces when we come to make the box. All right, the other piece I'm going to leave intact because we're going to do some die cutting out of that one in a second. I think as far as the rest of the paper's concerned, we'll do it as we go along so that we don't end up with too many pieces of paper altogether. All right, whoops, just pop that one back in there for a second. And then let's have a look. We're going to do, I think we'll make the box first so that we've got that sorted, all right, because that's fairly straightforward. So if you just take your scoreboard, all right, whether you've got the Scoremaster or the Top Score, either of them will work, on the inches side, okay, And obviously you've got the lid. I always remember the lid's on the left, so both the L's together, the lid on the left and then the base is on the right. So it doesn't matter which piece, they're both the same size. We're going to take one right up to that left hand edge, make sure it's nice and secure, and score it at 1 1/4 inch. All right, and we're going to do this on all 4 sides. So again, I tend to do it 2 or 3 times because the craft card is quite fibrous. And then just rotate, and we're going to do 1 1/4 inches all the way round. Again, on that long side, 1 1/4. So 2 or 3 scores in there just to break those fibres up at 1 1/4 inches. And then if you want to mark that one as your lid, just so that we don't get them mixed up. And obviously this, we're going to have stuff stuck over the top of here, which is why I'm not too worried about the writing on it. And then we're going to do the same with the bottom piece, but we're going to work on the right hand side this time. And any of you that haven't come across this before, the measurements aren't quite true on this right hand side. There's a slightly bigger gap here than 1/8 of an inch, which means that this will make up just a fraction smaller to allow the lid to fit over the base. All right, so I'm going to pop on the inside this time, because we're going to cover the inside, that this is the base. And then I'm going to score again. If you look at the bottom, you've got your measurements coming from this bottom edge. Find the 1 1/4 inch mark. I usually track it up to the top, and I know that on this particular one it lands on the 7 inch there at the top. All right, so whether you're going to work from top to bottom or bottom to top, we want that 1 1/4 inches on all 4 sides again. So we're doing essentially the same as what we did on the lid. We're just using that other measurement to allow it to make up just a fraction. It's only about 1/8 of an inch, but it just means then that your lid will fit over the top of the base. Now I normally score on the side that I want to fold away from, because this is another question that I do get asked quite a lot. So where we're going to fold this now, I score on the side that we're folding that mounting fold into, just because it's breaking the fibres up in that track to allow you to bend the card without it breaking. All right, so pop that to one side, and then if you've got your scissors handy, we'll do a little bit of snipping. Okay, so I'm going to take it doesn't matter what size your scissors are, I've actually got the large ones here, but I want you to look at the score lines where we did this long one here. And I'm going to cut from the outside edge to where it meets that horizontal score line. And I'm actually cutting on this side to the left of the score line. So I'm going to
you're removing the score line,
cut the score line away, so you've got a nice neat edge there up to that where it bisects that other line. Okay? And then just take a little tiny wedge out of there, and the same on the outside, so that you're creating like a little tab there. Yeah? And then we're going to scooch along to the other end, and this time I'm going to go to the right hand side. So again, I'm cutting that score line away to give myself a nice neat edge on that piece that's going to fold.
Might took a bit much off there, Jan. Whoops.
And again, just snip those little wedges out. It just helps when we're sealing the box together. And then I'm going to turn it round and do the same on the other side. So always cutting that score line away. That's essentially what's in that little wedge. And then again, scooch it along, and we're going to do that last one at the bottom there. All right. So those are all rubbish. So this is our base that we've got going on here now. Okay. So then once we've got those tabs in place, you can just see how mine's cut there just to create those nice little glue tabs. So now we need to actually fold and burnish away from us. So I'm having my light colour on the outside, so I'm making a mounting fold, and then just use that bone folder again to secure those folds in place. So I've got my 2 long edges there, okay, and then I'm going to fold the long one in along with the tabs, and again Just burnish everything nicely into place. If you've not got a bone folder, you can use the edge of your score tool there to do it with. I know some people like to use the fingers. All right, and then again, we're going to do that long side on the other one. So just get that long side folded in, fold the tabs in, and then give it a nice burnish. So you can see there that we've got that nice long thin box. We've created glue tabs just to stick that one together. Okay, so we'll get that one put together and then we'll have a little break for everybody to catch up. Cool. So again, whatever you want to use, if you're using a wet glue, I would go with the tacky glue. So the PVA base on there, let me just have a little look. All right. And if you're using, you could use red line tape on there. I'm actually just going to bring in my double-sided tape pen for this. The tape in there is just as strong. So again, on those tabs, and I'm working on the outside, I'm still on the light coloured side. I'm just going to cover those tabs. And I'm going to do all 4 of them at once and just get some glue on all 4 of the tabs there. So again, just make sure they're all nice and sticky, ready to go. And then all we're going to do is, whoops, try not to stick it to the mat, Jan. All right. Make sure you've got your darker colour on the inside, or whichever way around you're doing it.
Well, I've got I've got a base, a dark base and a lighter top, I think.
That's quite all right. And then again, we're going to fold the tab on the inside, and you want to bring that nice cut edge to make a real nice tight right angle on the corner. And then just give it a little rub, and then just follow it round all 4 corners, just making sure you've got a nice angle on that corner there, and give it a rub. Same again at the other end. Okay, and then the last one to tuck in there. And then what I tend to do is just turn it on its side, and I like to just give it a little rub with my bone folder just to make sure that all that glue has adhered and that everything's stuck together. And if you've used wet glue, you can do this as well. It spreads out the glue so that you get a nice bond there. And then we can pop that piece to one side now for later. We'll come back to that later on. So I think what I'm going to suggest is that if you're with me, I want you to do the same to your top piece. So I want you to cut in and make the wedges and the tabs ready with your top piece as well, all right? But then we'll give everybody while you're doing that, we'll get everybody caught up and make sure nobody's got left behind. Okay? Are you good over there, Joe?
Yeah, I can't. I don't know what I meant to do, but yes.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, then we're going to do that when we come back. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. Fabulous. Right, let me recap the deal for you. Sorry, I was in box making's new territory for me, Jan. You see, it takes a lot of concentration,
isn't it? Yeah.
Let me take you through some of the samples, actually, show you this kind of thing that you're going to be able to prepare with these 4 different designs in here for you, all with that hidden message in there as well, as you can see, that pops out. So you've got your Christmas tree. I love this stocking with the bell on. You've got the little stocking here. It does open up as well, so you can actually use it as a card too. You've got somewhere to definitely write your message in there. You've got the present, which is this one just here, again with that little hidden message in there. And you'll also get the cracker in there as well. I love the way it's been used as a topper here on this particular design. So again, a great way of doing it, mounting it onto a larger card project. 59.7, 59.85 gets you all 4 sets in here. I am going to share with you also the acrylic marker collection, the metallic marker collection that we've got for you. So you're going to get in here, I absolutely adore these. Let me start with my favourite one. You're going to get the outline markers. Now these are amazing. So you get them all the different colours. And what they do is they write or draw in silver for you, but then the colour actually appears around the outside, sort of like a bubble which it creates around the outside, an outline on there, which is awesome. You've also got the metallic flip markers as well, and these are great because they have a different colour suspended in them. So you see how when you flip them and they play with the light, they give you a totally different colour. You get 2 sets of those. So you get the natural world, and you also get this one here as well, which is the cosmic wonder. And then on top of that, you'll get some of our original metallic markers in there as well, which is your rare minerals. You get all of those in there, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Let's see what's going on in the comments, Jan. Right, hey guys, just love Jan's craft along. She explains everything so well, says the lovely Christine Koppenrath in the Netherlands. Diane says congratulations on the 2 added wins. Maybe if you look behind the couch you can find some more. Who knows? I mean, we might have won all the categories by the time the day's out. Samantha Cheney says, do you know we can see all the results from the craft competition? Yeah, on the Craft Beautiful website, I believe you'll be able to find them. Shudai says, congratulations to the best company. You deserve all your wins. You sell your products to us and then you spend your time to teach and inspire. Well deserved. Pam E says, must remember to screenshot the measurements as we go. Barbara is very appreciative of the written measurements. And Pam E says, yes, the scoreboards are really helpful for box making. Right. I think we're all good, Jan, if you are. Everyone else in the comments seems to be.
So we're going to repeat that process then. So I've got my lid this time and I've got my light colours going to be the top. And again, we're going to do exactly the same process. So find that score line. And again, we're going to come this side, so just to the left-hand side and cut away that score line up to where it crosses and bisects that horizontal line. And then just take a little tiny bit, and it's probably about 1/8 of an inch at the bottom here that I cut out of it. It doesn't matter how much. It's not really, you just want to make that tab shape. And what the purpose of this means is that if for any reason anything's a fraction out, it means that when we fold it, you've not got bits of cardstock stuck up above the edge of the box that you need to start trimming. So again, I brought it right to the other end, and this time I'm coming to the right hand side to just cut away that score line again. Take those little wedges out and one off that corner, and then flip it round, and we're going to do exactly the same on the opposite side. So left hand side of the score line, take that little wedge out, trim the corner, and then again on that last one to the right hand side of the score line, snip it out and take that last piece off there. All right, and then those are all waste. We can get rid of all the little snippings there. And we're going to do the same again. All right, so we're going to fold. I've got the surface area that I want to see facing up, and I'm folding my score line away from me to make that tent fold, that mountain fold there. So again, same at the other end. Just burnish them in with your bone folder, and then we're going to do that nice long fold down the side and the tabs, because they're all the same score line. And then literally burnish them all in place. That's where you get that nice crisp sort of fold edge on there when you burnish them. And then again, last one, long edge along with the 2 tabs, and then lay it flat and just burnish it in place. Now I'm not going to do any more with this one yet, because I prefer to decorate these while they're flat. And later we're going to cut some strips that are going to just decorate the sides, the 4 sides of the box. So I'm going to leave that with my base and just leave that one to one side for now. All right, so I think we'll do a little bit of die cutting next.
Okie doke.
So if you take your cracker die, and if you're new to these, there are instructions in the packet. So it does tell you exactly what to do. Mine's just stuck to the front of my packaging there.
I've got a new one.
That's it, you've got a new one. All right, so inside each of the packaging there, you've got a 6-step as to how to, which parts of the die to use, how to construct it.
Don't think I'm making a very good job of this, Jan.
How to add your reveal bit, and your finished part. And then it's just up to you how you do the decoration. I just take the packet, Joe, and I'll usually go right across the top, just about 1/16 of an inch across the top of the packet. All right. He's trying to get into the packet, bless him. I didn't realise it wasn't opened. Are you in there? He's chewing away there. There we go, look.
Award-winning this show, don't forget. I mean, I've taken about half the box away, but the pack away. I mean...
He's in. And then you might find it stuck to the front of the packet, yeah? This is the biggest challenge, just getting into the packet. Bless him.
Oh, honestly, it's like childbirth, this, isn't it? Oh, I can see the head. There we go. We're out.
Oh my
We're
days.
done.
Are we good? Yeah. He's worked up a sweat over there, haven't you? Right, so if you have a look at the metalwork on there then, the one with the 2 pieces to it, the 2 sides, is our main concept die. So we're going to take that one first. And we also want the piece that's got the little 3 tabs there, that's the pocket. So we're going to take that one as well. All right. And I want the one that just looks like the cracker head there as well. So those 3 pieces I'm going to cut out of the craft card, and then we'll come back to the other pieces in a second. So on your last sheet that's left here of craft card, you should have enough space to actually pop these in. So I'm going to tape that main concept die into place.
If you need some craft card, we've got some available for you on the show.
And then I'm going to use that top one on here. And then just so that I don't have too much with my die going on, rather than using this half, I'm going to bring in one of those scrap pieces that we cut off, because that's big enough to create our little pocket there. And just tape that one in. So I'm going to cut this in half and use the other half to do the same again, because we need to cut all these dies twice. So I'm literally just going to take that one down so that I can fit them in my Gemini, and I'm going to cut this piece down and cut these all together. Okay? So depending on what machine you've got, if you're using the MIDI, you'll have to pass this one through first and then do this on a second pass. I've actually got my large Gemini plates out, so I'm going to put mine through together here. So again, on my plate there, I'm going to add this one and this one and pass them all through together. So just a normal die cutting sandwich there with your shims and your top plate, and we're going to cut those 3 pieces out all in one pass. So just move those out of the way.
Oh, Jan, I haven't been frugal enough. Oh, I have. I'm all right.
So this is going to create one part of the, one side of the cracker. And then we're going to do the same again. We're going to repeat with the same dies on this other piece that I've just cut away. All right, so we're going to end up with the main concept piece, which looks like so. Yep. And I'm just going to take that one off so that I can use it again. And then we're going to take that one out, which is just the equivalent of this piece here. So I've got
I think I
those
might
2.
need another piece of craft card, Jan.
That's all right, I've got some underneath here.
I've not, I wasn't very I didn't think it through very well when I placed my bits on. I might be able to get that out of there. 1 second.
There's some more if you need it there, Joe. Okay, and then I've got my little pocket there as well that looks like so.
What?
So I'll pop those 3 pieces to one side.
Oh yes, look at that, Jan.
Have you got it there?
Look, we just pop it down.
Oh wow, that's perfect. Yep. And then I'm going to use that piece that I cut in half, and I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to tape that large piece on there. I'm going to add the cracker top on there.
So I think I will need some more though, Jan, just for the little pocket. I think I've not been very...
Your bits that you put to one side, Joe, your scraps.
Oh yes,
One
Jan.
of those pieces is just wide enough for your little pockets.
Come through, Jan. Great idea.
All right, so
Just
again,
gotta find the die now.
I'm going to do the same again. So I've got that concept piece, the cracker top and the pocket, and I'm going to repeat that now. So we're going to put that sandwich together again. We're going to flip and rotate those plates as we go along and pass that through the Gemini for a second time to create those pieces twice. So essentially we're doing the same thing twice because we're going to mirror those designs, we're going to have one at one end of the cracker and one at the other end. So we're going to do this and basically do it twice. All right, so let's just take those pieces out of there. So we should have a second concept piece there, which is the main piece. I'm going to put that with that one. Get rid of the tape. Good practice to pop your dies back on the carrier sheet so we don't lose them. Okay, then we've got that cracker top there. That's my second one of those. Now I'm going to keep this die out because I need to use it again. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. I've got waste in the bin. And then I've got my second little pocket there.
So should have 2 cracker ends, 2 cracker bits and the 2 pockets, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's perfect.
Right, I'm going to put these bits back.
So the pocket and the concept die can go back on the carrier sheet, but we do need that little cracker top again.
Right, okay.
So we're going to cut that again, all right? So I think we'll do all the die cutting and get that all ready.
Cool.
Before we put all the other pieces together. So just keep them together. And then what we want to do next is take some of the red satin, or the equivalent if you've chosen a different colourway, and you'll see on your piece, your metal sheet here, that there's just an outline rectangle.
An outline rectangle.
Just that outline rectangle, which has been sized perfectly to fit on the front of your design there. You can just see how there's a little border there all the way around. So I want 2 pieces of red. So if I bring this one back into play, we've created the main part, we've cut the concept piece out, and we're now going to cut the mat that sits behind that decorative element. Can you see the red through there underneath? So
Yep.
we need 2 mats. And then we're going to do at the same time, because there should be enough room if you're using a larger plate. On the gold mirror card, you can see that one there. I'm going to take, no, we can't do them at the same time, Jan, because you need the rectangle. So let's just do them one stage at a time. All right, so first one, the plain rectangle, tape it down. I always cut my cardstock down to the size I'm working at. It's just habit, and it prevents, especially with your speciality card like the mirror card, if you've got any scarring on your plates, which, you know, that's the job of the clear cutting plates, sometimes it can transfer onto the surface of your card. So I always cut it down to the piece that I need to work with. Oh, Josie's winding away over there, aren't you? Right, I'm going to bring my smaller plates in this time so that I'm not waiting quite as long for these, because these little pieces will fit. So we're going to cut this one twice. And again, you know, if you've got the MIDI there, it just makes light work of these. I just happen to have my larger machine out from earlier. So we need 2 of the red pieces. And then once we've done all the die cutting, we'll do a quick recap and let everybody get to the same place. So again, I'm going to use that other half now to do the second one. And again, all the plates on there, pass that through, and we'll have 2 of those nice little red mats then.
Pammy says, poor Joe. I don't know what that means.
It's all that cranky.
Sorry?
Oh, was he getting wrestling with the die?
I think so, yeah. He says, frugal with paper. You are learning, Joe. Evelyn says, not crafting long, but listening while working on some base cards from the USB. Lovely.
And then I'm just going to do the last 2 bits of die cutting for now, and then we'll have a break and let everybody catch up.
So the last...
So you should have 2 of the red rectangles, Joe.
Yep.
Yeah, done that one.
Yep.
And then on the gold, or whatever you're substituting if you're not using gold, again, I'm just going to cut that same piece off the end there. And this time we're going to cut the 2 pieces together. So I need the outside rectangle. Let me just cut this piece in half.
Oh, now you're testing me, Jan.
That's all right. We'll work it together. So we're going to do the outside rectangle, and then we're going to put that decorative element on the inside. Now there should be about a 1/16 of an inch gap all the way round. And what I mean by that is where the outside edge is here, you should be able to get your pokey tool all the way around the edge here where it's not touching. Now if you're not confident at this stage cutting them together, cut your square out with the outline and then add the detailed die to it and pass it through a second time. But essentially we need to do this twice as well so that we've got the pieces to do the overlay. So again, I'm going to pass that one through the machine.
I think I've done it, Jan.
A second one. Yeah, you might just need to pop the pieces out with your pokey tool, Joe, because there's some little decorative elements in that one that need to come out. And again, you can see there, look, we've got that lovely, and the beauty of this is because they've been cut with that same external die, is these are going to fit over each other perfectly and make that lovely decorative panel that we're going to use on the front. So again, I'm going to do exactly the same. Just make sure that you've got all the bits out of your die, because if there's any left in, you're not going to get the same amount of pressure. So I'm just going to get rid of all my bits down there in the bin and then flip that plate over, and I've got a second piece there, and then we're going to pop that one on. Again, just making sure if you're cutting them together that you can see that gap all the way around it there. The last thing you want to do is get your dies overlapped and then apply the pressure from the machine. That is one way that you could damage your metal dies, and obviously you want these to last. So we'll pass that one through, we'll get that one cut, and then we'll let everybody catch up. I'll just recap what pieces you need.
Like a hot knife through butter, that Gemini midi, isn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it? I used the midi at home when I was making my sample.
Really lovely.
So again, we're going to get rid of all the little pieces out of there.
I don't have a bin, no. The floor's looking very colourful at the moment.
Oh, we've failed.
I'm going to come and use Jan's bin.
Okay, so I've got that second one. All the spare bits are waste now. Put those over there. So let's just recap what you should have, and then we'll take, there is a little bit more die cutting to do.
I came to use your bin and I nearly walked straight in front of the camera. I think I was so engrossed in the crafting, Jan, I forgot where I was.
I might just do that last little bit of die cutting, and then we'll recap what we need, and then I'll give you guys a break. The last thing I want you to do is, I said we needed the cracker top again. So again,
yes.
If you look at my sample here, I've got the pattern paper over the piece that we're actually going to have the sentiment on there. So we need to cut two. Now, because this is only paper, you can cut these together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into my large piece. I'm just going to extend it large enough to do two. And because it's only paper, even with the midi, we can put these on top of each other and we can cut these together. So again, I'm just going to stick those down. I'm going to pop the shims in. I'm going to find my other plate, there we go, and then just cut those. So we need two of those as well. And then I promise we'll take a break. I'll recap what we need, make sure that everybody's got the right pieces, and then we'll have a little break for everybody, make sure that we've not left anybody behind. So the last two pieces there then are two pieces of patterned paper that have got that lovely cracker top on there. So just make sure that you don't throw the die in the bin with your waste. And I'm saying that because I've done it in the past.
Should I, says Prince Joe, I can hear the strength of the midi. You are working it.
Right, so let's just have a stock check then. So we should have two pieces of that main concept die. All right, one for each end. Together to go with that, we should have two of the pockets. So I'm going to put those together. Then we should have two of the cracker tops in craft card and two in pattern paper. We're going to stick these together eventually so that we've got some strength behind those. And then you should have two of the red rectangles. I just tip them there, you can see that lovely red. and you should have 2 of those gold mirror card detailed panels.
Fabulous.
Okay, so we'll let everybody make sure everybody's on the same page, and we'll have a little catch up, Joe, and then we'll come back to putting them together.
Absolutely. Lisa's Loverjan Day. She is looking smashing in a floral jumper. Just my colours.
Thank you.
Should I says also love that mirror cardstock. It is beautiful, isn't it? Right. Anything you need recapping or you need to know again, let me know in the comments. We're going to give you a couple of moments to get yourself caught up. So whilst we do that, here's all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Elizabeth Cram says, Joe, I love to see you crafting. It makes my heart happy. How lovely is that? Makes my heart happy too. And also, I've got the best teacher as well, the headmistress herself in the building for this craft along, award-winning craft along. Right, I've got a couple of luxury card packs that I want to share with you. So we've got this first one here, and this one in here, you're going to get the gold, which is fabulous. Now, what you get in these, of course, 10 sheets of glitter, 10 sheets of mirror, 10 sheets of matte mirror in each of them. So you're going to get the gold, the red, and you're going to get the green in this one. And then there's a second option for you as well. And in this one, what you're going to get is you get the purple you also get the silver. I love the silver glitter. I think it is so beautiful. And then you've got the ice blue as well with the silvery blue, and then the 2 blues in there as well. 19.98 or 31.90. Remember, you're going to get double points, of course, on that. You're going to get double points on that as well. What I want to do is I want to take my earpiece and put it to my microphone so you can hear how Johnny says it. Do you reckon it'll work? Do you reckon he'll hear it? Okay, ready, Johnny? One second, right? 1 sec. Right, go. Did you hear it, Jan? Did you hear it, Jan? Did you?
Well, then I can hear him in my ear.
It? So. Did you hear that at home? Let me know if you can hear Johnny saying "for snore," which is this one just here. I love my job. 50 grams.
Otherwise known as faux snow.
Faux snow, no. But faux snow, yes. It's back in stock. 15.98 or 25.52 if you want to get your hands on this. 50 grams of that coming your way for that awesome price. Don't miss out on that if you've still got Christmas crafting to do. Remember as well, today, the last day for US delivery. So make sure you take advantage of that. Guaranteed Christmas delivery. Last day is today, so do take advantage. People could hear you, Johnny, just very quietly at home. Right, Jan.
Right.
I think we're ready if you are.
Are we good to move on then?
I believe so.
Right, so what we're going to start and do then now is actually compile the cracker pieces. So we've got them on the top here, and I've literally just inverted them so that we've got one at each end. So we're going to make these up, and we're actually going to have our little slider piece in here. If I turn it round, those are the right way around, Jan, with our sentiments hidden inside. So I'm going to show you, if you haven't come across these before, show you how to fit them together, and that's going to be the top section of our box then. So what I'd like you to do then is take one of your main concept pieces and one of your pocket pieces to start off with. Now, the concept piece...
Oh, Jan, you know I haven't got...
What have you not got?
Red line tape.
Oh, did they not get you any?
No, the little...
Oh, we asked them, didn't we?
I'll go, don't worry.
Are you off?
Yeah. Do I want a thin one, do you think?
Probably, yeah, because you can use that for them all then. So on the concept piece here, there's a vertical score line, literally down the middle, that we're going to fold away from ourselves, as if we're making a little card. And I just want you to pay attention to this corner and make sure that it's all nice and straight. All right, and then I'm going to burnish that fold in place. You got some? All right, so that's all I want you to do to that outside piece. All right.
Don't have much luck with packaging, do I?
So all we've done, Joe, with that concept piece is literally fold it in half like a little book. And I've got my lighter colour on the outside. So just down that horizontal score line, just folded the front over onto that back cracker piece like so. Yep. And see there?
Oh, yours is... Does it matter that yours is folded the other way to mine?
No. That's it. That's what mine looks like. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Okay. And then if
Charlotte was telling me off.
The little pocket piece, again, you'll see on 3 edges you've got the tabs. So again, folding away from yourself, I've got that lighter shade on the top. I'm just going to sort of break those, fold those score lines and fold those tabs in. So you're creating like a little rectangular pocket with the tabs on the inside there. Okay. And then I'm going to open them up again for now, and I'm using my 6mm red line, but it doesn't matter. If you've got the 3mm, it will work just the same. But basically we want to pop a piece of tape along those 3 tabs.
On the
on the little pocket.
On the outside or
on the
inside?
Outside, yep. So I'm just going to pop that along there. I'm going to pop the other long side, and I'm just to the tab side of that fold line, and then a piece at the bottom, and again I'm just sort of gone to the tab side of where that fold is. So you don't want any sticky on the other side of the fold. Okay. So just give that now a good burnish on the top of the red line. It is pressure sensitive, so once you've got all the air bubbles out of there, and then I just want you to take the two side pieces for now. So I want you to take the liner off each side, and then I want you to fold those back.
Charlotte's
towards
giggling
the
at me
back.
already, Jan. She can see what the impending doom that's on its way with me and this red liner tape, I think.
And then fold the base over the top. So I've now got my tabs folded in. These are sticky now at the minute. I've left the red line on here just for a second.
Oh, Jan, both bits off first time. Look at that.
Yeah. All right.
So those two in.
So the two sides in and then the base over the top.
Excellent.
And the reason I prefer to do it like that is when you get your insert piece that we'll come to in a second, if you folded the base in first and then the sides, sometimes you'll get this hit the base and it interferes with the room inside.
Okay.
So by folding the base over the side, you've created a nice little tuck spot there that this will slide in and out of. I'll give you the measurements for these in a second. So we've got that piece here. So essentially, this is going to stick. Don't stick it down just yet, but this is going to go on the inside of your concept piece here. Now, the way that I worked out how to make the insert piece was to pop my cracker top over here. And I placed this one before I took the tape off and then measured from inside the pocket to this piece here. So you want a piece of card that's long enough basically to sit in the pocket and attach to this piece so that it pulls out like so. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep. So we're not going to stick anything together just yet until we've got the other pieces at the ready. So these pieces, the cream, are going to measure 3 1/4 in height by 1.5 in width. And I gauge that. It doesn't give you the sizing for this piece and it doesn't give you a die because obviously it depends where you stick your pocket as to how deep it needs to be. So just decide, I found the width of the pocket and I needed enough coming out of the top that I could stick behind that cracker piece so that when it's all stuck together, this piece is going to become your reveal sentiment like so. All right. So we'll get those two pieces of cream cut.
Gosh, you know it's a busy craft line. I'm only having my first swig of tea, Jan. We're nearly we're an hour in.
All right, so I want you to do these for me and let me just grab some scrap card for you. So I want you to cut 2 pieces of your scrap cream at 3 1/4 by 1.5 inches. So you can just see there, 2 pieces. So we want 1 for each end. Yep. At 3 1/4 by 1.5. So if you get those ready, and then we'll get these stamped up so that we can complete the construction. All right.
Oh, good.
So just give you a second to get those cut. And then we need the stamps that you've chosen with your stamping platform and your ink. Okay.
Wonderful. I'm just going to take an opportunity there then just to run back through the deal itself on the actual dies as well. So if you don't own these yet, remember it isn't too late. You can grab these now today, come back and watch this craft along anytime you like. 4 different designs in here. So remember what you are getting. You're going to get the cracker, which is your Christmas cracker, this one just here. I love that you get all the bits you need as well. So you've got the bows, the detailing, the pocket, the whole concept all coming in there for you. You've also got as well the stocking, which is that one just there. You will receive the present and you'll also get in there then the Christmas tree as well with all the little embellishing pieces that you will need. Right, I've also got some stamps that I need to tell you about as well. It is the brush lettering stamps. These are fabulous. I love these. Best price yet on these. And remember, you'll get double points today as well. It's our second day of Craftmas. In here, you've got thinking of you, thank you so very much, season's greetings, Merry Christmas, hello. You've also got happy holidays, happy birthdays, Christmas wishes as well. Love that they're a mix of everyday and festive sentiment, and you've got a 40% saving on there as well, which is fantastic. Right, I think we're ready to push on, Jan, if you are.
Yeah. So once we've got those pieces cut, I've just laid mine out here so you can see where we're going with them. So these are the finished pieces that are out of my sample, and these are the pieces that we've got cut waiting for the sentiments. So bearing in mind that one's going to go in one way and one the other way, we need to work close enough to this end, to the middle kind of thing, because if we go too far along, it's going to disappear behind the cracker head. So what I've done is I've lined up the ones that I'd got done earlier, and I want to stamp in that area so that we've basically got an element here, and we're going to trap this between our two pieces here like so. So you want to make sure that your stamp is on the bit that's protruding, that's going to slide into the pocket. All right, so I've just left those like that so that you can get a gauge for where they want to stamp. And then I've just picked a couple out. I've got Just For You at Christmas and Celebrate the Season. And I'm just going to take my little stamping platform, pop these on the grid, and I'm going to use this one as a guide as to whereabouts I need to pop that second sentiment. So again, I'm just going to hover over the top there and go for about there. Just commit to that one. So that's Just For You at Christmas. Whatever your sentiments are, if you're not doing a Christmas design, it might be, you know, other sentiments that you've got there. And then I'm going to take that one off the plate, and I'm going to come to the second one, which said Celebrate the Season. So again, I'm going to line that one up on the grid. I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to use this one again as a guide to position that roughly where I need it to go.
You can tell Headmistress Jan is in the building because the comments are non-existent. I reckon everyone is engrossed, deeply concentrating on this craft along. I think this might be the most advanced craft along I've done yet, you know, Jan.
Well, there you go, you see.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, that little top tip, if you're not using the stamping platform and you've not got the facility to overstamp, you see there's just a little tiny bit of my "the" missing. So just take one of your fine liner pens and you can just cheat and fill in the little bit that's missing, and nobody would be any the wiser.
Top tip there, Jan.
So just like so. All right, so I'm going to take those two back out of the way for a second and keep these at the ready. And then I'm just going to pop my stamps away because they'll get stuck to something and then I'll spend an age looking for them. So pop those back on there. And just for anybody that's interested, I just used I love this particular set of designs of stamps has got some fantastic Christmas sentiments in. I keep these handy. They've got all sorts of different sentiments. So I'm just going to pop those in there out of the way so that we know they're nice and safe. And then we've got these at the ready. Now also what I did on mine, and this is optional because I didn't put this on the list, but if you've got your inks handy, just round the edge of the sentiment here, I've just used a little bit of Bordeaux water reactive ink because that matched my chosen colour palette there. So again, I've literally just taken round the edge, and again, it's optional. You don't have to do this bit. Not too worried about the top edge because this is going to trap in between the two pieces. So again, just draws your eye in to where that colour is. I've done that one the wrong way. So that wants to be that way. That's it. Okay. So we'll leave that like so. And then what we're going to do is take our cracker pieces. So you've got the craft one and your paper one. And we've got one for each end like so. And what we're going to do is trap this piece. And the reason I've done this is because this is the bit that's actually going to do the work. So this is the piece that slides in and out here. So to just have paper on its own is a wee bit flimsy. So that's the reason that I've cut it in the craft card and that we're going to stick them together. It also allows you to sandwich this piece in between. All right. So what I want to do then is bring in Let's just pop one to one side and work on one for a second. So bring the concept piece back in where we've got the little pocket sat waiting, and slot your sentiment inside there, facing you. All right. Yeah. And then I'm going to use my wet glue here. You can use your tape pen if you wish, or you can even use a little bit of red line tape, but just about 1/4 of an inch or so at the top. I've just popped some wet glue on there. Okay. So then we're going to keep the pattern piece here. I'm going to line this up with the top of the cracker, and I'm going to sort of push up my sentiment so that there's that piece that's glued sticks behind that pattern piece. Yeah? Just have a look, make sure I've got everything nice and straight. So I'm just using this as a guideline, the little pocket as a guideline, and I've made sure that the pattern piece is lined up with the top of the concept piece underneath here. Yep. And then I've just stuck that down. So we've now got, we know that this is in the right place to fit the rest of the design. And then once you've got that piece on there straight, we can flip this over now, and you want to put glue all over the back of the paper piece. And then we're going to stick this to our craft card piece, and we're going to sandwich this piece in the middle so that we don't see the join. All right, so I'm just going to pop this one now, line it up. Because they're both die cut, these are going to fit perfectly, and just line up all the pieces so that you're effectively just lining that craft card piece with the pattern paper. Give it a good press to make sure it's all stuck down, and then you've got one of your pieces at the ready to slide in and out of that little pocket. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So don't worry, because we're going to do that again, because we need to do the same with the other side. Okay. Now the reason they look opposite like that is because when we turn them round, one's going to come in from the left and one's going to come in from the right, which is why your sentiments look odd when you've got them this way up. Okay. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to take the second sentiment. I'm going to slide it face up into my pocket there. Yep. I'm going to take the second piece of my paper cracker. I'm going to do the glue across about 1/4 of an inch again at the top there. And then I want to position this, just hover over the top here and push the sentiment up until it fits underneath and it's all lined up. So you want the points here lined up at the top. Make sure that bit's straight. And then again, you can take it out of the pocket. Just making sure that one doesn't look totally straight. So I've just got a chance to wriggle it a little bit there. That's better. Okay, make sure it's in the center there. And then flip it over. We're going to put the glue on the back again, so all over that paper piece. Pay attention to those little points, because that's the bit where it's going to curl up, if anything, when people are taking it in and out. Putting it on the back of that cream piece again. And then you're going to take your craft card piece, and I'm going to put that face down and line it up with the one underneath, and just check from the front and make sure that everything's lined up. And then give it a good press. So then we've got our 2 pieces for each end that are going to slide in and out. Okay? So is everybody with me on that section?
I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah? Fantastic.
Just making sure my tips on my crown are perfectly straight.
So just make sure you've got glue right to the end, as I say, because those are the bits that will sort of curl up if you're not.
That was intense, that bit, Jan.
It was a bit. That's probably
the
the most sort of intricate part. Just getting those
just
lined
need
up.
to just a brief pause, Jan.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I can't get my needle in. There we go. Oh no, I missed it. Sorry, bear with. There we go. want to give you the details again for the luxury cardstock. Very, very busy. Remember, two different collections here for you. The first collection gives you the gold along with the red and the green. Remember, you get 10 sheets of glitter, 10 sheets of mirror, 10 sheets of matte mirror in each of those. And then also, you've got another collection here which gives you the purple, and in there you'll also get the silver and the ice blue as well in there. So, right, getting very, very busy out there across lots of stuff on the show. Right, Headmistress Jan.
Next step then. All right, so what we're going to do now then is we're going to complete these little concept pieces. So we're just going to take one of our sentiments and I'm going to slide it back into that holder that we'd taken the tape off. All right, line up the points. Okay, so to make sure everything's reasonably straight, and then when you're happy, just before I do that, I need to take that last piece of red line tape off at the bottom. Yep. And then when you're happy, pay particular attention to this part. This wants to line up with the concept piece underneath. And then when you're happy with it, you're going to close the little door and stick it to that pocket. Okay, give it a good rub where that tape's made contact with the back of your card. So you should end up with the little pocket stuck on the inside of your card.
Oh yeah, and it all matches.
Yep. So then you've got the facility for this one to pop out and slide back in, and it lines up nicely with the rest of the cracker. Okay.
Gorgeous.
So we're going to do the same with the other one. We just need to prep that little pocket first. So we first of all folded those tabs away from ourselves to create the glue tabs along each side and along the bottom, and then we opened them up and added some red line tape just to the tabs, and just make sure you're just over the score line so that that sticky doesn't get on the other side of the pocket. So the two long sides, and then across the bottom like so. And then once that's in place, give it a good burnish with that tool. If you haven't got a bone folder, you can use the scoring tool, you can use the edge of your scissors, but you just want to apply some pressure to the red line to get rid of any air bubbles that are underneath. And then I want you to take the two long sides off first. I just use my pokey tool underneath there. And then I'm going to flip it over and pop those two sides folded in. And while those are folded in, fold up that little bottom to make the pocket there, like so. And then this time we can move straight on. So I'm going to take the red line off the bottom piece as well. I'm going to take my next sentiment that we made and I'm going to slide that into the little pocket ready. Okay, and then the second concept piece, we just need to make sure that that vertical score line is folded like a little book. Just pay attention that it's nicely lined up on that bottom corner and give it a burnish. So we've got that piece ready and this piece ready. And then we just need to pop them together again. So all I did was line up the top of the cracker, make sure those points are lined up nicely, make sure everything's looking reasonably straight, and then when you're happy with it, close that little door at the front.
Right, Jan, I think we've done it.
Into place, and you should have your second one then with your message to slide in and out. Okay? So we've got one end and two ends there. So this is going to be this side, this is going to be this side, okay? And that's the beginnings of this long piece now that's going to fit along here.
Fabulous.
So we're going to do the decorative panels next, which are very, very, very simple.
So do we stick these closed then at some point, Jan? These?
Yes. Now then, that's something I was going to come to when we've done the decorating, Joe.
As I was wondering about.
Yeah. All right. So let's just get those decorative panels and then I'll explain why I've stuck those together. So the two decorative pieces that we did, we had the red matte. So that lovely red satin card there, and then we had the nice die cut piece that's going to stick over the top. So the best tool for the job for this one is the good old little dotty tape pen.
Now I've learnt my lesson, Jan. I'm going to do this on a scrap piece of paper because
okay.
last time I did it straight on the mat and I got myself very, very sticky.
It's about the pressure. You need to hold it really lightly. You're not actually pressing on as such with this, but literally all over the back of that die cut piece, nice and light. There's very little pressure. You're just letting the dots run over the back of the piece there. And I've just gone down the length from top to bottom, and this is exactly the same size now because we use that external rectangle to cut them. This is going to lay straight over, just line them up, and when you're happy with it, I turn it face down and give it a good press on the back to make sure that all those dots have stuck to that panel. All right, and you've created that lovely filigree panel there with the detail on.
Because they're the same size, it's nice and easy to line those up, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So again, we're going to do the same with the other half. So I'm going to flip this one over, and nice and light is the key with your dots. As I say, you barely got any pressure on it at all. You're just letting that tape glide over the die cut there. Make sure that you've got it on all the sections there. And I've not got any dots here on my mat now. And then again, line it up with the die cut panel that we've put for underneath. And once you're happy that all those sides are in the right place, turn it over and give it a good press down to make sure that it's stuck.
Very fancy in the red and gold, isn't it?
They're gorgeous, aren't they? Yeah, very typical Christmas colours. And I like the red with the craft card. They seem to go quite nicely together.
Nice little tags actually on their own, those,
yes,
Jan.
They
got
are.
a whole bunch in those.
So if you bring your two pieces in again, now I sort of had a look, and there's not a design as such, but obviously they are the same. So you can see I've got one element here branching up into almost like a heart. Yeah?
Yep.
So there is no right or wrong, but I just preferred, again, OCD dictates that they have to go like so in my world. All right, so I've got that central point with the heart branching out on each side. If you want them the other way around, if you get them both in opposite directions, it doesn't matter. But Jan's OCD head means that they have to be aligned like so. And these are going to fit nicely now on the rectangular element of that piece that we've made. So don't worry about this bit here that's got the tab on it. All right, so again, you've choices. You can go back to your double-sided tape pen if you wish. You can stick with the red line tape, or you can stay with the tacky glue. So whichever you prefer. I'm going to go with some tacky glue on this one.
Yeah, me too, I think, Jan.
Because that craft card's quite fibrous, the wet glue sort of soaks in and gives you a really nice bond on the card there.
The name's Bond, permanent bond.
Okay, and again, I'm looking at the straight edges on here. Not so much the tab. I want the straight edges, and I'm just going to sort of centre it in between, and you've got the same border sort of running round the outside now. Just make sure that that's all stuck down really well. Just if it's tacky glue, it just needs a second or two for it to go tacky and do the job. So just keep applying pressure there. And you want to make sure that that's stuck down really nicely. And then we're going to repeat the same for the other side. So again, I'm going to apply the glue to back of there. Now, it may be that you want to raise these up on foam pads. You could do that if you wanted to. I've kept everything flat on the top because I've added some decoration, but there's nothing to stop you adding a little bit of foam under here if you wanted to raise them. And again, I'm using those straight sides to sort of get that equal border all the way around. And again, plenty of pressure on that tacky glue until it's done its job and grabbed that craft card underneath. So just make sure that you press all the elements down and give it a chance to soak into the craft card, and then you've got those two pieces at the ready. So going back to what you said there, Joe, because this is actually going to be an element on top of my box, I didn't need the opening sections here. So I didn't need them to be cards. They're going to be a decorative element, and this is the bit that's going to be the feature, so the actual reveal. All right, so I'm actually going to close these and stick them shut. Otherwise, you'll find that you've got a tendency for it to start flopping open on the edge of your box. Now, if you're using them as a little gift card, you know, you might want them to open up so that you could attach a gift card inside them. You could write an extra message, you could stamp an extra message, you could trim up the inside. So if you're wanting to use them that way, leave them open. But for the purpose of what we're doing here, I'm going to take my red line tape again. I'm going to open this one, and just down that edge, just to the bottom, I'm going to add in a piece of tape. Okay, and then you'll find that your other one opens the other way. All right, so they're almost like opposites of each other. And again, I'm going to go for that front outside edge, just up to where the angle is on the design. Again, that little bit of pressure onto your red line to get rid of the air, and then you should find that that tape comes off nicely. And then we're just going to seal these, but just pay attention to that right angle on the corner. Make sure that everything's nice and square, and then when you're happy, we're going to get that sealed. And we've then got the facility for this one to still slide in and out there. Yeah? And then I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to take the red line off the tape. Again, just pay attention to that bottom corner. Just bring it this way again. Just to make sure that everything's lined up nicely. And then when you're happy, little bit of pressure where that tape is. And we've got those pieces now to make that topper for our box there. So I think it's probably good for a little break again there, Joe, just to make sure that every's got that section.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Got my two toppers ready to go. Very happy with that. Right, let's give you a quick break then, just a chance to get yourself caught up. Whilst you do that, here's all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, It's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Lots of you crafting along, lots of you very exciting as well. Kim says Janet's doing an amazing job, always so inspiring. Audrey, love watching the craft alongs. Debbie says she needs to get herself a Gemini machine. Maybe there'll be a promotion this week. Susie T says we've got the stocking and the present in these dies, using the stocking one at the moment. Stephanie's late. Where you been, Stephanie? I mean, it's nearly over. She says, hello everyone, sorry I'm late. Good to see you, Jan and Joe. Good to see you too, Stephanie. Gilmore says, OMG, the filigree die, is that in the cracker set? Yes, it is within that cracker set. And Carletta says, nobody's talking, are we all in a crafting coma? I think we really are. Rhonda says I would keep those flaps and put magnets in them so you could open them. Good idea, of course you want to do that.
That is a way around it, yeah, fantastic.
I just want to share with you an embellishment collection that we've got available for you on the show. It's going to be perfect to go with this particular collection, or with this particular craft along, I should say. You've got your twine in here. You also have ribbon in here as well. Now this is a ribbon we're going to be using in this craft along. You've got your bells there. Then you've also got this selection of beauties. Now this festive embellishment, you've got acorns in here, little berries, frosted berries as well. And then also within there too, we have got this, which is your embossing powders from the reindeer collection. Great price on that, less than half price. £20 or $25 if you want to get your hands on those. Don't forget as well, if you don't yet own these dies that we're doing with the craft along today, it's not too late. You're going to be able to come back and watch this at any time that you wish. And the four designs you're going to receive in here is the cracker, which is this one just here. You've also got the, how did I say it, Charlotte? Cracker. Apparently that's how I say it. Polly want a cracker. You also get the stocking, the present, and the tree. If you're thinking, who is Charlotte and what's she on about, go over to, after the show, go over to my Facebook page. I basically sort of accosted Charlotte in the gallery earlier and made her spend 15 minutes with me on Facebook Live answering loads of inane questions. It was really great. Just go over there just to see how awkward she gets, to be honest, as well. It's very, very good. Right, Jan, I think if you're ready, everyone else seems to be as well.
Right, so we've got some finishing touches to do then. So basically what we've just done is going to stick along the top section of our box lid that we made at the top of the show. But just before we do that, I want to create the panels to go around the edge of the box. I find this easier to do while the box is still flat. So, your piece of pattern paper that we cut into at the beginning of the show there, I'm going to take that with the guillotine and we're just going to cut,
sorry.
Gosh, that was like the nails on the blackboard there, Joe. Ooh. So we're just going to make some panels and I'm going to cut some sections down the edge that measure 1 inch wide. So literally, if you find it difficult to do it this way, with all the excess paper on the right hand side, you can still do this way because we know that the paper is 12 inches long. So if you move it along to 11 inches,
top tip there, Jan.
You're going to have an inch strip that we've cut off that one end. All right, because it can sometimes be a bit fiddly when you want those narrow strips and you've got a lot of paper. So again, I'm going to move it along to the 10 inch and I'm going to take another strip off that long side there. All right, and then I'm going to pop these back in on the long edge here and I'm going to make a cut at 8.5 inches. So that's going to be our long side of the box, and take that end off.
Oh, mine are two different sizes, Jan, so I'm just going to cut one more.
Okie dokes. And then the little piece that's left, we're going to cut this down to 2 3/8.
So what was the first measurement, sorry,
Jan? So the
Jan?
first one's 8.5 in length.
Yep.
And then the little piece that's left, we need to trim that one down. So 2 3/8 is your marker between 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. All right, so 2 3/8 there. And I've got my second, so we need to keep those two pieces, and the little square that's left is scrap. And then do the same with the other strip that we've cut. So the first cut was at 8.5 inches. Okay, that gives me my second long side, and then the piece that's left at 2 3/8.
2 3/8, so that's just under 2 1/2, yeah?
Yes, so it's halfway between 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. Okay, so the little square scrap, and we should then have the two long sides there and the two short sides. Okay, so if we bring our box lid back in that we had at the ready, we're going to stick those long ones on either side and the short ones across the edge like so. So again, chosen glue, the double-sided tape pen will work for this. You can use your tacky glue, or you can use collal. I'm going to go for collal for this one, just purely because we're going paper to cardstock, and it's just literally one layer of paper there. I'm going to stick with the collal all-purpose. So again, just whichever side, and I've kept these to match the pieces of the cracker that we're going to pull to reveal the message. So I went with the same design there. If your paper's double-sided and you wanted to use the reverse side, absolutely fine. And then these are just going to line those edges just to add that little bit of interest. Got a bit giddy with my glue there.
Oh yeah, I've got a bit of seepage, Jan.
You're not on your own. I got a bit giddy there, I think. But the beauty of the collal is that it will just rub away from that edge. And then again, I've got the other long piece is going to go. So not so much glue this time, Jan. I got a bit giddy there, I think. Less is more where glue is concerned. I think we all use too much glue, and I include myself in that. There we go, that's better. So just to get those in place, when you've got them in the right place, just squidge that glue underneath, spread it out, and then I'm going to take the two shorter pieces and pop them at one end. There's some squeaking going off in that gallery.
That's Johnny opening his wallet, you can hear.
I thought we needed to come and give you
I think it's his chair. He says it's the chair anyway. I mean, who knows if it is.
And then that last piece.
Oh.
Is going to go on that last short side there. So again, you know, if you don't want to do this piece, then, you know, it's not, I'm not saying you've got to decorate. It just matches now those cracker pieces that I've got there, and I think it just ties it all in together. So now we can put the box together, and again I'm going to flit from my all-purpose glue back to my tape pen now, and just like we did with the base, on all four of those tabs I'm just going to cover them with the tape pen there. So make sure you've got a nice layer of adhesive on those. I'm going to do all four of them at the same time.
I must admit, Jan, I'm a bit apprehensive to see if my box lid and base fits together at this point.
There's no reason why it shouldn't. Have faith. So again, tabs in, and then just line up that corner to get that nice right angle, and then give it a squeeze. Just be careful if your paper's still a little bit wet that you don't squidge it out of the way. And then again, we're going to do that long side on. So just give it a nice little press down. Make sure that, just pay attention to this corner. Make sure that you get a nice corner on there, a right angle. And then when you're happy with them, I normally go in with my bone folder and just give them a good press down there. Make sure that that glue's sealed nicely. Okay, and then if you fetch your base back in that we made at the top of the show, we should be able to do one over the other. Okay?
Fits like a glove, Jan.
Yep. Now, one last job before we actually do the rest of it. I did pop on your list of equipment a circle punch. Now, mine's just 3/4 of an inch. It doesn't really matter about the size. It can be an inch, it can be wider, it can even be an oval punch. But what I want you to do is just, you can either measure this or you can guesstimate it. My mind doesn't allow me to guesstimate, so I'm just going to bring it down on my mat here. And it's just under 9 inches, so about on the 4.5 inch mark, I'm going to make a little mark on mine. I'll show you what I've done in a second. So just on the inside there, I've just measured the halfway here and put a little pencil line. And then what I'm going to do is pop this and leave about halfway. I've got the pencil mark in the middle here, and then I'm just going to pop
Hey.
on both sides, and it just gives you that little finger hold to help take the box apart. So again, just line it up, give it a press.
Now, do you think I'm going to measure, Jan?
I don't think you're going to measure, Joe, no.
No, you
He's
would
gonna
be
guess.
correct.
You're going to come round. It's going to do the ping.
Oh no, it's definitely not in the middle, Jan.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
nearly got me in the eye.
And then all it does, it gives you that sort of room on the
Thank you very
base,
much.
thank you, to hold the box there so that you've got a bit of extra room to actually take it apart. So it's just little finishing touches like so. All right, so let's pop that away. And then now we can actually start and finish our box, and we can do all the trimming, and we've got a couple of little embellishments left to make. So you can see why I went for that 5 1/8 width here, because I used this as my guideline. I wanted the box to be directly underneath it. Now, when I first started doing this, I measured to where the division is in the cracker, but there was far too much of this overhanging for my liking. It was making it too sort of flimsy and risk getting damaged. So what I've done is I've brought it in a little bit so that some of this part is underneath the box as well. All right, so you basically need to line them up so that you've got an equal distance at each side. So I've got about 1/4 inch from where the diagonal starts onto the straight line at each side. If I pull it this way, you can see where the edge of my box is, and you can see where I've come to on my design there. So you just want to get them centered and level with the box. All right, actually, before we do that, one more job. All right, we need to stick them together before we do that. So again, bring the red line tape back in. And again, I've still got the 6mm one, the 3mm one will work as well. And on this bottom edge here, I'm going to run, in fact, I'm going to flick to the 3mm one, it might fit in there better. All right, let me just find the end of there. So just right along the bottom edge there, I'm going to pop a line of red line tape from edge to edge, right across that bottom edge. Bring you that a little bit closer so you can just see what I've done there, yeah? And then I'm going to do the same on this side. So again, from edge to edge, just underneath where we stuck that decorative panel, all the way across the design, and then give it a little rub down again just to release any of those bubbles. Okay, and we're actually going to stick these together now. So if we bring in those embellishment packs, the reindeer collection has the most gorgeous velvet ribbon. So I took the red out of there to match my design, and you just want enough to cover this and a bit to wrap round the back. Okay, so I measured it and it was around about 4.5 inches-ish. All right, if you're using a different colour, you might want to use a different type of ribbon. Again, there's no right or wrong with it. And then we're going to take off the liner from the tape on both sides. And you're going to pop these together. Just double check at this point that your sentiments are reading and you've got them the right way round so that you can see both of your sentiments.
So we're using the ribbon then essentially to stick the two together, Jan, is that right?
Yes, so then we're going to stick it on top of the box. So it doesn't matter that it's a little bit flimsy in itself because the box is going to hold it together. So once you've got these lined up, I'm going to pop the ribbon over the top and it just covers the edge of that gold filigree part as well. So it gives you a nice join in the middle there. So I'm just eyeballing about the centre. Look at where your design is and then pop that ribbon and catch that tape underneath so that you've essentially stuck them together. Now it is a little bit flimsy, but the box is going to hold it steady when we've finished. And then flip it over and you just need something to catch that tape on the back. So again, I'm just using a little bit of the tape pen there.
Look at me, I went straight in with the red line, Jan.
That's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
I think I'm getting a little bit too sure of myself here.
And wrap those around the back so that you've got that nice long piece now that looks as if it's actually a cracker now. It's got that join covered and then we're going to decorate the join as well. Yep. So then now we've done that, we can actually stick it on top of our box.
Fab.
So again, chosen glue of choice. I'm going to stick with the tacky glue. Okay. And I want to pop glue all over the back, but just bear in mind that we're only going just above about the equivalent of this flap here on the other side. So don't get too carried away and put glue right at the end of your cracker. So if you look here, my box finishes and these two panels are about the same width. All right, so what I did was take my glue to where the join is in the cracker here. Yeah?
Oh, I've got fluff on my nozzle.
Oh my goodness. What causes that, Joe?
I think I've got it too near my ribbon. It's all right, I've removed the fluff. Now I can't get the pin in, there we are.
So again, just cover that. And then I'm going to do the other side as well. And I've stopped, rather than guessing, I've stopped where that division line is. You also want a little bit of glue on the back of the ribbon, just to secure that as well. And then rather than guessing where this came to, I've run a bead of glue along each end of the box. And that's going to catch that last bit. All right, so either end of the box, all over the back of here, and then you can pop it in place. And if you're not too sure about lining things up, measure where your centre of your box is here. So measure your length of the box, find the and then you can line the ribbon up. But I'm using my fingers now to feel the edge of the box and just make sure I've got about the same overlap at this end as I have at this end. And just make sure now, just give that tacky glue a chance to stick together. And then that's sealed the whole thing. So this now no longer is flimsy because you've got the top of the box to hold it all together. Okay. Right, so we've got a little bit of embellishing to do. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're okay, aren't we? Yep. So I'm going to go straight into the embellishment side of it then. So the last bit of metalwork on your die, there is a sentiment in here that says Noel. Now I didn't actually use this on my project, but it's there if you need it. But we're going to take the bow piece. So we need the rounded part and we need the fishtail part, okay? Now you have got the little section that makes the piece round the middle, but I didn't worry too much about that because I've used a gem in the middle of my bow. So with these two pieces, I ask you to grab a scrap of red glitter card. We're going to pop these in place and we need to cut each of these pieces twice. So you'll have two of the rounded piece and two of the fishtail piece. And I'm just going to bring in, just for speed, my little mini will cope with these fine. So I'm going to pop those in there and take them through the mini. And then you need to repeat it so that you've got two of each. So we'll just take those out. So I've got my little fishtail piece there. I've got my rounded piece there. And then I'm going to take that off the scrap, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the bit that's left there. So just swap that to this side for housekeeping. Pass it through the machine there. And then we've got our two little bows.
You're testing me, Jan. I think this will be the first bow I've ever made.
Oh, and it is a little diddy one as well. So again, I'm going to pop those dies back on the carrier sheet so that I don't lose them. Okie dokes. Right, and then we've got our second set of pieces there. Okay. Right, now I tend to find something that's round, all right? So I'm just looking at what I've got lying around here, and probably my pencil will do the trick. All right, so your pokey tool would work as well, all right? And just start to gently roll that rounded piece around there. So I'm going to take it from one end and literally around the thicker end of my pokey tool, I'm just going to roll it along there to create, you want to create a curve in it rather than a bend. All right, and again I'm going to come from this end, I'm using the thicker part of the pokey tool and just rolling it around there until you get pretty much to the middle. And you can see how we've created that nice little curve in it now rather than a flat bend in it. So we're going to do that on the other rounded piece as well. So again, take the end of it, just push it against your pokey tool and roll it along that metal so that you get that nice little round shape there. Can you see that? Yep. And then the same on this end. And around there to get that shape. Perfect. So then essentially what we're going to do is stick those two pieces that are set at the end here on the back of the inside piece. So again, I'm going to stay with that wet glue, and you want a tiny little bit inside the bow. And I usually dab off the excess because again, you don't want too much in here. And then bring those two edges together behind the front piece. And when you're happy with them in place, give them a squeeze and just hold them for a few seconds. You need that tacky glue to do its job and actually work and do the sticking. So I'm just going to pinch it together with my finger and my thumb there and give it a few seconds, and you'll find that that sticks in place to make the cutest little bow ever. Okay, are you all right over there, Joe?
Yeah, I think so.
Very quiet.
I'm struggling to get the little stickage happening.
And then again, on the back of the second one, little dab of glue behind the front centre of the bow. I usually just dab off the excess there so that there's not too much to squeeze out. Line up the cut ends in the middle, and then once you're happy, give it a squeeze and then just hold it. About 10 seconds or so, it just needs that glue to adhere. The tacky glue just takes a second or two to grab. And then once you're happy with that,
I've got there in the end, Jan, got there in the end.
Second little bow, yeah? They're so cute. They really are. Oops. Stick it back there, that's it. Now then, I didn't find that the glue worked quite so well on the glitter card. So again, I'm going to use that 3mm tape, and you want the smallest piece. So you literally want a piece that's probably about less than 1/4 of an inch. It's the tiniest little bit there, can you see? And I'm literally going to use my tweezers for this because my fingers are too big. And in between that fishtail piece, I'm going to stick the red line right across the centre and then give it a good press down in the middle. And then I'm going to do the same again. So literally the smallest of pieces, just under 1/4 of an inch there, and then pop it in the centre, and then when you've got it in there, give it a good press down. Now it doesn't help that I've got red line tape on top of a red bow, all right, but I do know it's there.
I'm going for one bow, Jan.
That's all right.
I thought 2 bows was just one bow too far.
Okay.
I'm going for a less is more with the bows.
So again, we're just going to pop that liner off, and then you're going to pop the reverse side, so the back of the bow wants to go over the middle here and press it down in place, and you'll find that they should stick together nicely. And again on this one, turn it over so that you've got the back where it's stuck together on to here and press it down, and you've got the two. They're just so adorable. Just look at those, really, really cute. All right, and then also in your ribbon pack, if you've used the same ribbon that I did, there are some gems in there as well. All right, so I'm just going to use a couple of those. And again, I'm using that tape because I found that the glue didn't stick as well when I was at home. So again, you want an even smaller bit this time. I'm talking tiny, tiny pieces. And this is just Jan fiddling away here. If you don't want to add the gem in the middle, absolutely fine, don't worry about it. Again, just that little bit of tape in the centre there. Just in the middle. And then I'm going to take the liner off without actually taking the rest of the tape off, she says. Come on, there we go. And then this one, tiny little bit. And this is Jan fiddling at her best. This last little finishing touches. And then again, I'm just going to use that middle-sized gem here in the gold to tie in with the gold mirror card that we used. And just, this is why I didn't do the little straight piece that wraps around the centre of the bow. It didn't need it. And you've got your two little bits there. And then I'm going to take those elements from Twas the Night this time, and I'm going to take some of those little berries. Okay, so I had one of the frosted ones and a couple of gold ones, but again, whatever takes your fancy. There's lots to choose from in there, however you want to do them, whatever combination. There's some little pine cones. I think you chose a pine cone for yours, didn't you, Joe?
I did indeed.
You might, when you're ready, when you've got everything ready, want to pop her back over, because I've used the glue gun for some of these, Joe. So again, I'm going to take off some of the length on here. I don't want all the stems. So I've taken them down to about, just about 1/2 inch left on there. Okay, whoops, that bit there and that bit there. And then what we're going to do, now I also, and this is something that you guys can add because I forgot to mention this bit, I die cut a couple of little gold leaves and I forgot to add that to the list, so you can always add these in afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that hot glue gun and I'm going to pop the leaves on first, and I find that the hot glue works just as well. Now then, what's happening to my, ooh.
Oh, we've got a malfunction.
Ooh, what's going off there?
Oh, this happened before.
That doesn't look well, does it? Right, let me try another glue stick and see if that will push it through. And if not, we'll have to resort to plan B. So that there we go. So again, I'm just going to pop one of those on that side. Just double check that, yeah, I'm the right way up. I'm going to put one of those on that side just as a little accent, and then I'm going to put the glue, rather than try and get the glue onto those little beads, I'm going to put a decent sized blob of glue in the centre there, and then just pop these. I folded the wire that's left underneath.
First time I've ever been able to use a glue gun, Jan.
Oh, look at this. Thank you. And then I've just tucked those little bits of wire that were left into the glue and made that nice little arrangement.
I think I might need a touch more, Jan.
Yep. And you manage.
Yep.
Doing a fantastic job. I'm very proud of you with all
There
this.
we are.
And then I'm going to do the same, just with a little tiny bit on the back of those bows, and I'm going to pop those just above where those panels are to fill that last section there that we had left. So one at the top and one at that end.
Leslie Toll says, lol, 2 bows is 1 bow too far. 1 bow is 1 bow too far, is what we've learned, Leslie.
Okay, so I'm just going to pop that one back in its holder out the way. And we've got those on there. Okay, and I think I've only got one more thing that I've got, and that should be easy enough to do. I think we've got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, can we do it? Can we do it? Right, the red satin card, I'm just going to cut a piece with my guillotine, and we're going to cut this at 2 3/8 by 8 3/8. So check what length you've got left. I've only got 8 and a bit that way, but I can do it that way, yep.
I've only got 8 and a quarter.
At 2 3/8 down that length by 8 3/8 along that length. Okay, pop that one away, and this should fit nicely. Which one's which now? That one, lost them now. That one should drop nicely inside. So again, I'm going to use the collal in there because that'll give me time to just wiggle it into place. So again, just pop that all-purpose underneath, drop it into the base of the box, and then you've got time to just wriggle it. And it's just a finishing touch. You know, you don't have to put anything in there if you don't want, but I think it just finishes it off nicely. And then you've got your top there, and you've got our design with our lovely little reveals. When you lift these, we've got Celebrate the Season, and then we've got Just for You at Christmas. Now the only thing that I did just to finish it off, and I've lost one of them in transit, I think it must be in my bag when I put it in my bag, I've just used some of the little gems on that cracker top piece. It looked a little bit blank, I've lost one of them here. But just using these again from that set, if you're using the same set as me, just to decorate. These looked a little bit plain to me, so again, just to pop them on there. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and I hope, let me know what you're going to pop inside yours as a gift then. Right, Mr. Remblance, look at you.
I'm very happy.
That is fantastic. Look at that. I like how you've done the little bow on there. That's fine. Ta-da! Well done.
And it fits as well.
Yeah,
I mean, miraculously, it fits together.
Of course it does.
There we are.
There you go.
Very, very
Brilliant.
happy with that. Oh, well, I'll have to hang on to that. I'll have to put someone's present in there.
Yeah.
Right, loads of you still chatting away. Gilmore says it looks so regal, doesn't it indeed? Pammy says such a pretty make, Jan. Great job done. Wow, right on the mark, Joe. Time up, says Shadiah. Yeah, we were right on the money today, Jan, weren't we?
Perfect.
Now, let me take you back through what you're getting. So you're getting this one here. It's a cracker, as apparently this is the way I say it, according to Charlotte. The cracker here with your beautiful design. You've also got the stocking in here as well. You're going to get that beautiful present there, the gift of Christmas. And you've also got the Christmas tree in there as well. You get all 4 designs for that price. $59.7, $59.85. Remember also double points because we are in the midst of our 12 days of Craftmas. And day number 2 means double points across everything here on the website. No, here on Crafters TV and across everything on the website as well. Don't forget, another great show coming up for you. Myself and Debbie Robinson will be here for a hunky-dory cartload coming up in just over 2 hours time. She's here, she's in the building. Come in. She's got, she's dressed as some sort of space invader. Can I show you? Look at you. You look like something from the future with your myself and Deb will be up in 2 hours time. Jan, massive thank you. Thank you for teaching me that beautiful box as well. I loved every second of it.
Yep. I think you've done a fantastic job. I'm very proud of you there.
When are you back with us?
I am back next Wednesday with another craft along.
Fabulous.
Another craft along. I've
Well,
got to go home and plan the project, but we're using some of the border edgeables next week. So yes, see what's coming for that one.
Well, I'm a bit gutted I won't be here, Jam. But you guys will be here as well. Massive thanks to all of you guys. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Make sure you come and... Oh, I've glued my pokey tool to the desk. Make sure you come and... Make sure you come and join myself and Debbie for that amazing cartload a little later. Don't forget, of course, double points. Well, remember the last day today for US shipping. So if there's anything you desperately want guaranteed in time for Christmas, today is the day you need to do it. We're going to go and have some dinner and we'll see you back here in 2 hours' time. Take care.